Alright, Arclight, let me go. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very tired, though.
Gotcha.
I realized after today that I have just worked 3 12-hour shifts in a row. Or 3 12-hour days. And then I streamed after them in a row. So technically those would be 15 to 16-hour days in a row. And I am tired. And that's my life story. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Oh, come on, let me in.
Let him in.
How are you doing?
Um, I'm actually kind of pissed off, not at you, but I'm I'm mad.
Oh no, what happened?
Okay, basically, my aunt passed out at work, fainted at work, so she's in the hospital right now, and they only allow one person in to see her at a time due to COVID restrictions,
Yeah.
and it pisses me off because I want to see her and I can't, so it aggravates me.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry.
At first I was sad, and now I'm just pissed off about it.
Well, I think you'll get your shot, I guess.
And it's like, and they're like, oh, but it's for COVID restrictions. It's like, guess what? A heart attack is more lethal than COVID will ever be because my aunt has heart issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get where I'm coming from, right? I'm not trying to downplay like COVID like it's nothing or something, but I don't know. I just think someone that's almost losing their life from something like that has a higher death rate than COVID has would be more important than I don't know. I'm just I'm just ranty because I'm not happy, so I apologize.
Um. It's fine.
So I'm sorry that was a little ranty there.
No, it's okay. You're venting. It's okay to vent. 1 second.
But good news is, one of my relatives is bringing me home with soda, so that once that gets cleared out, calm my stress level down a lot.
Yeah.
But I just bought another thing in Fortnite, so
Oh, you're really enjoying the game. It seems.
yeah. And basically, I think I told you this. Twitch paid me like $90 randomly out of nowhere. I don't know why. Because I don't think I made $90 on streaming. Because I haven't streamed in a while. So I wonder why they sent me $90. They Twitch paid themselves PayPal me $90.
Yeah.
But anyways,
The same thing
anyways,
happened to me actually. Just just to
oh, you
corroborate.
got the same thing?
Yeah. But I stream a lot more. So and I know sometimes they'll pay something like after a year. And so like I get like a small thing after a year and I was like, "Oh, maybe that just happened." But it's weird
So it
that
is.
it's weird that it also happened to you, I guess.
Yeah, it's really weird. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining. I like free money, you know, but
Right?
it's just really weird. But yeah, and I was like, okay, I don't have to save up money for Pokemon anymore. I could just flat out buy it. So
That's yeah.
I have it set up to pre-order and everything.
That's
So,
good.
so I'm just waiting for Nintendo to charge me for it. because they're letting you pre-order right now, but they're not charging you for it yet.
Yeah. Oh, I probably need to pre-order it then.
And since I didn't have to, you know, spend it on Pokemon anymore, and I still had like $30 left over, I was like, okay, I'm gonna treat myself a little bit and buy stuff I want to buy, and I thought about buying some games, and I was like, I'd rather buy some like DLC type stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I bought a katana in Fortnite.
All
Yes,
right. All right.
earlier today, and because katanas are my favorite, arguably my favorite weapon of all time. I love katanas. So yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. Well.
Oh, I also a few days ago got the battle pass. You might have seen me talking about in Discord how I'm trying to get Linux Rose right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got that too.
Well, I'm happy for you. You're able to splurge a little bit.
It's interesting that I thought it was just me, but apparently a lot of people Twitch just randomly sent them $90. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Like.
and I was like, what? And again, I'm not complaining. I like free money, you know.
Yeah. Who else was it? Was it? I know. So I obviously I only know of me and you, but I'm just that makes me
Just
wonder.
comments I saw online from on like
Okay.
Twitter and stuff.
Yeah. Huh. Huh. Okay. Well, I just wonder what it was. Did they take $90 at some point? I don't know. What am I doing? I was. Oh yeah, I wanted to go. Um. No. Focus. I'm at the end game. I'm gonna beat the game. Let's just focus on that. Let's just focus on beating the game. But here's the thing, is that you got it in my head to try to 100% the game. And since I've already mostly have the stuff,
I just said it because you were close, you know. I was like, well, you might as well. You're so close that you just, might as well.
Yeah,
That's all I meant.
that's kind of what I'm thinking too. That's what I started thinking. Alright. Oh, wait.
By the way, I am a sucker for cool-looking cosmetics. I am a sucker. Man, that was always. I know I'm probably one of the few people that complained about this in Smash more than most things, but man, skins. If Smash had skins, I would buy all of them. I would not care how expensive they were.
Yeah, I would have been right there with you. I would have bought all of them too. Like I'm.
Okay, let me rephrase that. If there's $30, then I'll be more hesitant, obviously. But if they're just like, say $5, I would buy them.
Yeah. But here's the thing: is that they probably would have done it bundled, right? So they probably would have done like a Mario pack, and then a Zelda
pack. And the most
pack.
annoying thing I've had someone told me about that is like, well, they did it with the Mii costumes, and it's like, that is not the same.
It's not. The Mii costumes aren't the same. Mii costume was like.
I have nothing against the Miis, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Even though I used to a long time ago. But on the other hand, I just don't. I want the actual characters, if that makes sense, to have skins.
Yeah. I think so. This is my thinking, right? There's kind of a level system, right? You have the characters that they feel should be in there, like absolutely 100%, and then you have characters that they crammed in there last minute. So that to me, that's like Crom. Crom would fit in there, and then you have characters that they really wanted to get in there. Um, but they had to work extra hard to get in there. So that would be like DLC. And then you have characters that they know there's really no chance, but and there's also no time.
Yeah.
But they were able to make something happen, and that's Mies, right? So that's kind of where.
To be fair with Crom, he was begged to be put in after the Robin trailer in Smash 4.
Yeah.
So he was begged for a year because of that stupid trailer.
Oh,
And
and
it's just like,
it wasn't. Yeah, it was the Captain Falcon trailer, wasn't it?
I'll get my chance another day.
Yeah. And it was like, "Where's Crom? Where's Crom?" And then, well, you got him.
To
So.
be fair, the thing with the Echo Fighters that most people don't realize, it's either you had the Echo Fighters or you had no character at all. They were not taking the place of better characters.
Yeah. Yeah. They crammed them in there as fast as they could, which is why
So,
I wanted an Echo Fighter pass. Like, I wouldn't mind one final DLC pack that was just like here's who we could have crammed in at the last second. So
Winix Rose for Smash? I'm kidding.
I know, right? But like, there's a lot of characters that I would have been down for. Like Dixie Kong, I thought would have been a good Echo Fighter. Change her up B and just change her up B and maybe her side B, or not her side B, but her neutral B, and then she would have
I
been
will say,
perfect.
the weirdest thing about Echo Fighters is some of them, like Ken and Ryu, play nothing alike.
Yeah,
They should not be considered Echo Fighters. They should just be considered semi-clones or something, because they play nothing alike. And then you have characters like Richter and Simon that have no differences hardly at all.
yeah. Like Simon, Richter, and Simon are
So
literally.
it makes me go, what qualifies as an Echo Fighter then? If a character that's pretty unique and plays completely different could be an Echo Fighter
Yeah.
alongside a character that has virtually no differences.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job of describing them, so it was pretty poor.
Like, for example, Ryu and Ken have more differences than Dr. Mario and Mario, and Dr. Mario is not an Echo Fighter. So
Yeah.
what qualifies an Echo Fighter then? You know?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I do think that there's probably some timing with it. So, like when Melee came out, the term was just clones, and then I guess the idea of an Echo Fighter didn't come out until Brawl. But then, so like all the characters that were in Melee were clones, but all the characters that were in Brawl were Echo Fighters.
Hold on, that might be my soda. I'll be right back.
Okay, what am I doing? I was doing something. Um, I gotta get there at 3. I need. What was I doing? Oh yeah, wanted to go to the bomber's hideout.
Okay, I'm back.
Nice.
Yep, my soda was here. I figured it was because my dog Lucy just started whining and barking.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, they must be here with my soda. And sure enough, here it is. Have you
Well,
ever been to Texas before?
I've been through Texas. I've never been to Texas. Slightly different.
Um, then you probably have you heard of Whataburger before? Whataburger before?
I've heard of Whataburger. It's not only in Texas.
It used to be only in Texas, and now it's in a few other places now. But
Yeah.
it used to be a Texas only restaurant chain. I asked because most states still don't have it.
Yeah. Well, I used to live in South Carolina, so I think they had one in where I was at. Uh, oh,
You want to know an ArcLight fast food secret
what's that?
that he's learned over the years?
Yeah,
Ask for no ice, you get triple the soda.
that's true. That's true. Ice is my brother says ice is the thief of root beer. So my brother uses that trick quite often.
Oh, I like root beer too.
Yeah. Me, I honestly, I actually intentionally get ice just because I know that it's not good for me, so it forces me to drink less of it. So,
Yeah.
that's a me thing though.
My mom always gets ice with hers because she likes to eat the ice, basically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a technique I learned. Because I don't. The soda from the soda machine's already cold.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
why do you need ice anyways? In my opinion, you know? So yeah, I don't. That's why I don't get ice because it's already cold. And even when it's not already cold, like at a restaurant like when like a restaurant has soda machines broken, for example, so it's all hot, I still get no ice because I'd rather just have more soda than it be
Yeah.
cold. I'm just like that.
All right, I'm gonna try to do the flower quest, I guess.
But
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I forget where the next one's at. I might actually have to look this up. I'm kind of. What if I don't beat the game in time? I have to try to beat it by today.
you start you um you say you failed. I guess I don't know.
Oh my god. No. No.
There is a new holiday called Halloween in November. Maybe you
Oh.
should say you're part of that. Maybe you should say you're part of that.
Oh.
Halloween in November because we already have Christmas in July. Why not Halloween in November? You know? Oh wow, I got so screwed over in this game. Basically, Fortnite, you have to find your weapons. You start with a melee weapon, your harvesting tool, and that's it, which is my katana. And
Yeah.
uh, and that's all you start out with. So if you get really unlucky and you fly down to a bad spot and there's an enemy there that's already picked up a gun, you just lose. lets you get really lucky and they can't aim.
Yeah. Mm. What am I doing?
Man, it's crazy how the hate towards styrofoam cups has calmed down. Because in Texas there was a huge maybe not uprising, maybe that's not the right word, but there was a huge thing about styrofoam cups.
Yeah.
They're bad for the environment, blah blah blah. You know this, and so everybody was complaining about all these fast food restaurants here in Texas having the styrofoam cups. McDonald's got rid of theirs, but places like Sonic and Whataburger still have theirs. So I guess they calmed down about it.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know. I don't know how bad styrofoam cups are, honestly. So,
I didn't research it either. I just know what people are claiming.
yeah. One second.
You're ordering food?
No.
Did I make you hungry? If so, I'm sorry. Okay, so I didn't make you hungry, okay.
No, you didn't. We're fine.
Because I've been like, oh, that was not my intention.
Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. Alright. I don't want to do that yet, though. That could take so much time. Okay. We can do that at least. Uh, so you're supposed to do. Okay. I messed up. I'm not supposed to actually answer correctly. I have to answer the other one. That's some candy. Yay, I beat her quest.
So you were supposed to answer wrong the whole time?
You don't answer wrong. You say I don't know. But yeah, that it threw me off.
That is basically answering wrong. You know what? You know what my teachers always said? I don't know is a horrible answer. And is always wrong. Because I had teachers that literally put I don't know on their test because they were curious if people would actually pick them, and people would pick them. Even knowing that it's wrong, obviously the wrong answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was funny.
Oh, school. Alright, I gotta come in here next. But I have to wait till 3 p.m. I need to do it with the postman's cap.
Dude, it's fun. Fortnite is so fun. I was so surprised
Yeah.
because I first tried it and I tried it briefly in 2017, and you know what? That's when it first came out, and you know what made me stop playing it? It almost immediately because I hated it.
Yeah.
Building, and once they introduced no building stuff, I've been wanting to come back, but just I don't know. But I just never did until now. And I must say, about the building is really fun.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah, Ren thinks it's funny that I've been playing Fortnite. Ren thinks it's funny.
I'll be honest, I think it's kind of funny too.
Because when I first told Lynn, hey, I'm currently grinding to get the Linux Rose skin,
Yeah.
and I showed her a picture of Linux Rose, and he was like, well, hello, and I was like, what's so funny? And like, you're playing Fortnite, and I'm like, oh, duh.
Oh my. I'm surprised Fortnite is still as big as it is.
It's actually a good game. It's actually a really good game, and I really enjoyed it. And they get all these cool skins too. Like currently in the store, there's currently a Black Adam skin that is The Rock.
They have the rock skin, huh?
Yeah, the Black Adam Rock skin. Yeah.
Well,
And
what do you
so,
know?
yeah, and they have right now in the Battle Pass. There's Linux Rose. It's their own character. I showed you a picture of her, I believe.
Yeah.
But they're also doing better skins that are theirs. But they also have Spider Glen as a skin you can get for the Battle Pass. Um, and in the store you can buy the Black Adam skin, as I said. You can buy a Morty skin.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Rick and Morty skins in the shop right now. Prez brought the Mega Morty skin. I cared more about Linux Rose, so I got the Battle Pass. And I think it one of the Rick and Morty items though. I got the katana. But yeah, dude, the skins are such good quality and everything, and the game's overall really fun. So and and you and you can actually do well starting out in this game. Like, it's not hard. There's not a huge learning curve or anything.
Yeah. It's basically just a regular third-person shooter, isn't it?
Yeah, but I guess the people are just worse in this game than they are in our third-person shooters. But that's also but that's I guess the people are a lot worse. That or I don't know. I just have an easier time with this game than I do in Uncharted or any other third-person shooter I played.
Yeah.
Besides Uncharted, I have not bought multiple entries into any of the shooting franchises. I guess there's Overwatch. I guess Overwatch counts, even though that was free, a free upgrade.
Yeah.
But besides Uncharted and Overwatch, I've not played more than one game in each shooter game franchise I played. I played Battlefield 3. I guess I played a few of the CODs, but they were mostly rentals.
Yeah. I'm not very good at shooters, so.
And you'd probably be fighting Fortnite. It's actually not that hard at all.
Yeah.
And when you're lower level, they'll start you out with against bots too, so you can get the feel of the game and everything.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, not everybody is a bot, but depending on your level determines how many bots you get, basically.
Well, I mean that's a good way to learn the game, I guess. I don't play the. I guess
You
I
don't
just
play
don't
the
play shooters
best.
enough.
Oh, you don't play. I think you would find it fun, but I would. I don't know for sure, obviously, because you never tried it.
Yeah.
But
Why won't you let me in?
wait a minute.
I'm here. See, look, it says that I can come in. Oh, do I have to do part of the side quest? Uh, why won't?
Another good thing about Fortnite is the gunplay, in my opinion, is really good. Like, it's some of the better gunplay that I've played on it. It's
Yeah.
very surprising. A friend actually got me into. The reason I played Fortnite in the first place is because a friend got me into it, and yeah, she got me into it, and it's like, dang, and I'm like, her name's. We rated her before. You might remember her name, Big Nut Pepper. We rated
Not.
her before.
I actually don't think I know her.
You might. I'm just saying you might have seen the name around because we
Maybe.
rated her before, but anyway, but yeah, she got. I'm basically like, dang it, Biggie, that you got me into this game. How could you?
Oh, come on, where is it?
My teammate can't drive. How was work?
Kind of different today. I trained a new guy on dishes, or sort of trained him. He kind of already knew what to do, but it was interesting talking to him. He was telling me that he had like a bunch of like he had a brain tumor, and
Oh
so
no.
yeah, I mean he's fine. I say he's fine, but he it definitely affected him. So like he can't he had, his short term memory isn't as good. And I guess his ex wife recently divorced him. So he's trying to pick up a second job so all of his money doesn't go straight to um child support. So and he's upset with his
Gotcha.
wife, his ex-wife, because his ex-wife has a degree while he doesn't, and he's doing all this work while she isn't. Yeah, it was. It's kind of weird. One second, I'm trying to find the right. Where is the? How do I get to the? I don't understand. I don't understand. Let me in. Ugh. Somehow the walkthrough that I'm looking at, that's the only one that it doesn't have. It's kind of annoying.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine. Oh, I'm about to get kicked out. One second.
Glad to see you, by the way.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
You picked a good time to stream too,
Yeah.
because I already told you what's going on.
Yeah.
And your streams usually to just be able to hang out with you usually helps me out a lot when I'm having problems. So I appreciate you.
Yeah. I'm happy. I guess I am happy I'm able to stream today. I am tired
This
though.
is like the old days again, where you streamed every day.
Right. Oh. I might need to take a couple days off after this though. Not gonna lie.
Oh, you're feeling that bad? I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm definitely pushing it today. Look, it's the toilet. Also, my hand kind of hurts. I gave myself a chemical burn, which is exciting.
Ouch! How did you do that?
Doing dishes.
Wait,
I somehow end up helping on dish or doing dish like every night, and so my hands are just starting to get eaten apart. Also, I think if my body is stressed, I think I might have developed eczema. So if I get stressed out, my hands get rashy. So it's like the rash. It's like the stress mixed with the the chemical just doesn't add up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come on, come on. Look, it's a hand. I have no idea who it is. Is there a paper?
Give me the paper. Give me the paper.
So there you go. I helped the guy out of a, and he was a part of the problem. So all right, how do I get? This is gonna bug me.
Isn't it crazy how I always convince you to do stuff that you don't want to do?
I need to just be like, no. I, you convinced me to at least finish the Bomber's Notebook, just so but I don't think I'm gonna beat the game 100%. There's a lot of heart pieces I just don't want to get. So, for context, I still can get 10 more hearts, so that's 40 more heart pieces. I'm not in the mood to get all those. So,
Of course you are.
no.
Of course.
No.
Like, you can do the frog quest.
No. To do the frog quest, I have to play through the third dungeon again. Just so I can fight the mini boss.
You know you want to fight the frog.
No.
That quest really frustrated Bailey, by the way.
Yeah, it's a kind of
She was
ridiculous one.
like, because the person telling her to do it didn't even tell her what the reward was. So when
Yeah.
she found out what the reward was, she was so upset that she wasted her time with it. the frog quest.
Luckily, I know better.
What was that?
I said, luckily, I know better.
That's why I keep saying sarcastically you should do it, because I know she hated it.
Yeah. Come on. Where is the... I'm trying to find... How does... Come on. I'm upset. The one on here that I need is not on here. And I'm like, there's no way. So I keep scrolling back up and down and being like, are you on here? Are you on here? Are you on here?
Are you on here?
Am I on here?
I don't know, are you?
Oh, between 3 p.m. and 12 a.m. on the first day, or 5 p.m. and 12 a.m. on the second day. Oh, snap. Oh, well, I already missed it, so.
What did you miss?
There's a window that allows me to talk to the postman, and I have to wait until a specific time to get there. So I messed myself up, essentially.
Serious question. Why do people like Majora's Mask so much?
Um,
Being serious.
being serious, I think it's
Yeah.
literally. So yeah. I know. You personally don't like the time mechanic, but everyone likes Majora's Mask because of the time. Well, not necessarily because of the time mechanic, but the time mechanic creates a game that is incredibly deep, and not only that, uh, the concept of the moon falling creates a storyline that is dark. So you have an unnaturally deep Zelda game that's also unnaturally dark. So like Andrew Cafe from last stream, right? The fact that you have to wait till the last hour for them to get together, and their final words are, we're going to stay together, till the bitter end, basically. So, right. Or like, learning that the butler, or hinting at how like the butler's son probably died, how Dermani died to trying to go to Snowhead. How the elder is going out into a blizzard basically to try to feed his son. Just a lot of darker themes in this game. So, oh, why did I speed up time? I didn't mean to do that. So if Ocarina of Time was an experience, like Majora, because of like I guess the world that it, Ocarina of Time is an experience because like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are both great experiences in their own right. But Ocarina of Time experience is more like a is like is very basic, I guess. Like it's a basic chosen one story. Save the princess, save the hero. It's a very basic story, but it's a very basic story done very well. Um, so it hits all the tropes. It's not bad, and so when you finally get to the point where you save the princess, it I don't know. It's an epic moment, right? There are a lot of good moments in that, but this one, having to kind of relive each moment, like when I lost the wedding mask, right? And I and the doors shut, and Tattle is just like, hey, you know, Cafe signed up for this. He kind of knew this was happening. Use your ocarina to get out. I left Cafe to die. Like, what? So it's those moments are kind of hit a little like is that the time mechanic has a thing, but it creates for moments that can be a lot deeper than what Ocarina of Time created. So
I don't know. It's the time mechanic just.
yeah, like right now,
It doesn't seem like it was that well implemented in the original, and you were saying a lot of stuff that the 3DS version fixed.
they did like in the 3DS they did fix it where you can if you play the Song of Double Time, you can be more specific about what hour you actually go to. Instead of now I'm sitting here waiting until after 3 p.m. While I wait to finish the postman's final
That's
challenge.
kind of my point. Like that's what I mean by like I feel like it was poorly implemented. Like that shouldn't be the case. It should be the way it is in the 3DS version.
Well, yeah, and it could be that they probably didn't think about it at the time, then that's fine, right? That or they didn't. In order to create a game like Majora's Mask, think about all pieces of the world have to be at a specific time and a specific moment, right? So it could be that the hardware just didn't allow them to be able to jump to a specific time, because that's a lot of processing power to jump to that moment in that time period. But since whenever night falls or dawn happens, they're already switching to a cutscene. It was a lot easier to implement. That's my assumption. But
Here's the biggest problem with Majora's Mask though. Pichu's not in it.
oh come on.
Oh no, seriously. Okay, no, being serious, I just don't like the time mechanic. At
Yeah.
least at least I might not mind the 3DS one as much. It's just that seeing you and Bailey play for the 64 one just made me go, that looks so frustrating to deal with. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's a situation for people who love the game where it's frustrating to deal with it, but it's frustrating in a good way, right? Um, it's weird. It's a weird moment because it's like time, right? And how it's like now, like yeah, I'm waiting, but I'm waiting because I know what time I have to be in there, right? So I'm waiting with the purpose.
Another problem with the game, it's very cryptic.
Well, that's because it's old Nintendo hard. That's why. So, um,
Pokemon wasn't cryptic though.
Pokemon was different, I guess. So,
And I wouldn't say Mario 64 was cryptic either.
well, this came out in the year 2000, I think. So, oh no, probably no, it was 99. So,
It's just weird that it's so cryptic when
what?
like Super Mario 64 and other Nintendo games at the time really weren't.
I guess what do you mean by cryptic? Like,
It doesn't tell you what you need or what you need to do or anything. You have to kind of guess. It seems like you just have to know.
oh well, I think that's a I think that's just a that's part of the design of it. Just being cryptic doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, right? Um,
No, I'm not saying that. It's just that Castlevania was cryptic too. I'm
yeah,
not saying it was just a Majora's Mask thing. Like Symphony Night has aspects that are very cryptic.
yeah,
Aria Sorrow is actually much newer. The game came out in like '04,
yeah,
and it has some cryptic things that they. For example, in Aria Sorrow, there's to get the true ending, you need to have 3 souls equipped, 3 specific souls equipped in a certain boss fight, and if you don't, it won't trigger. You'll get the bad ending basically.
yeah.
And the only hints you get are these free books that say this this just give you descriptions of three different souls you have to get, but it doesn't tell you just 3 different souls you have to get. It just tells you it's just basically a little meant to be a cryptic hint, and
Yeah.
that's all they tell you. I actually had to look that up because I do not know that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I well think about it like this. What the most cryptic game that I can think of, or the most if you're going for cryptic, the very first Zelda was the most cryptic game because they literally just gave you a sword and then just you had no idea what you were doing, right? So
I would say Simon's Quest is more cryptic. I saw Krebs actually play through and beat the first Zelda on stream not too long ago,
yeah,
but he needed a lot of help. Like
yeah,
there's another friend of mine, Rose. She was in there and she had to tell Krebs exactly what to do.
yeah,
And like you have to push like a very certain like sometimes you have to push a very certain block in a certain direction to
yeah,
trigger something and stuff like that. Simon's Quest had a lot of this type of stuff too.
yeah, yeah. So here's the thing. There are two main ways, and I'm going to segue right. I'm going to segue into a different point. But there are two. When you're talking about being cryptic, there are two ways for a game to extend its lifespan, right? And or to increase the enjoyment, and therefore increase the enjoyment of it. Um, One, you make and back in the day, it was either A, you make it harder, so that players are forced to master it, or B, you give as few clues as possible, so players are just kind of forced to wander until they figure it out. And the thing is that uh, So if you're going with the B route, that's kind of like when I'm talking with this one, right? There's a certain level of enjoyment of discovering a secret on without anyone really knowing, or even if you don't discover it, there's a different level of enjoyment from discussing with others of certain secrets of the game that other people didn't know.
Yeah,
So there's that level of camaraderie and interaction that individuals have between each other discussing the game. So
yeah,
um, so that's kind of like what the first Zelda was. Zelda was wander until you've basically discovered everything, and Metroid is a lot like that too. Like Metroidvania, you could go around in circles not knowing what to do until you blew up a specific wall. Um, so And I think now it seems for you that wandering around it doesn't seem to be your style of play, but I think
I don't
oh,
mind wandering around if it's like Metroidvania, for example. Like
yeah,
I played a lot of them,
yeah,
and I enjoy them. And those you often have to, you just have to figure out where to go. You get a new power up, and you're like, oh, I can go to this place again, and I can actually access it now. You know,
yeah,
and that's all it was. Things like, but things like those older games, you have to know something very specific that's not hinted at,
yeah,
and like I can't say it. There's like weapon and armor hidden behind breakable walls,
uh huh,
but there's anything that is major to the plot or anything is it's obvious you can destroy it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's obvious, and that's the thing. And in even Castlevania, you're like you just know hit every wall you come across, hit every wall
yeah,
because you know the walls are breakable. That's just even a Castlevania thing for as long as it existed. You know, breakable walls. So you just know to hit walls to see if they're breakable. And in the later Metroidvanias, they even give you items that tell you where breakable walls are. But yeah,
hmm,
so I don't mind doing that. It's just that some games are like cryptic to the point where I get a little annoyed if I have to look it up because I don't know and there's no way for me to know.
yeah.
It's not. There's like things that you're just not gonna figure out, and that's what I don't like. It's things you can't figure out on your own.
I think
Or you know what I mean?
I think I can somewhat relate. So remember in Mario Sunshine, I spent like 2 or 3 hours trying to get. It was with that Yoshi sprite. I had to jump on a Yoshi, and I thought that what I had to do was do a specific jump over to a specific platform in a
Uh huh.
specific way. But what I really had to do was just use the Yoshi and spray the fish that was jumping from the pool. And there was nothing to indicate that I had to spray the fish. Um, and so I wasted 2 or 3 hours just doing that. Right? So, and it was annoying because I was trying not to, but so yeah, I do think being there is a level where you have to. There is a level where there is a point where you do have to do a good job of kind of signaling what is needed. To show the player, hey, this works at this time. But I don't know. I don't think this. I don't think this game doesn't real. I don't. I don't necessarily think this game doesn't do that. Just because all the characters are there. I think this game is just you just have to be patient, and sitting around waiting isn't a thing that's big in these times. So, eh, you know,
I played one game where there was a time mechanic, but even this game, that time mechanic is something for an extra item you don't need.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's different to me than having something major walk behind that.
Yeah.
You know, like Cynthia Knight, there's a clock tower, right?
Yeah.
And there's an item you can only get if the clock tower hits 12. And when it hits 12, a door that wasn't open previously will open.
Yeah.
But there's no way to ever know that or anything, but it was not important to the plot or to the game that much. It was just an extra item. So it didn't bother me as much, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at this, like, technically, this, like, if you look at all these masks here, technically the only masks I actually really need are these three. And then this one, but this one's inside the temple, so I get this automatically. Right? And this one, you kind of, it spells it out for you, like, how to get it. So, like, one,
Yeah, but there's a difference between a specific weapon, like a very niche weapon, versus, you know, a mask that helps you in combat and helps you get the Fierce DD mask, the best mask in the game and everything. You know?
the fierce easy's mask isn't required either. So if you're talking
I
about like,
guess.
yeah,
I guess.
if you're talking about required masks, one, two, it's you only need 5 required masks to get through the game. And then items, you technically one, two, you need all the arrows and the hook shot and the lens of truth, and then all that stuff is
But yeah, that's not really what bothers me. It's just a time mechanic in general. Like,
yeah,
if I complete a dungeon, for example, I want it to stay completed. You know what I mean? I don't want it to just randomly reset because I
yeah.
rewind time.
I guess that's fair.
You
And
know, because I like feeling like I progressed and
yeah,
I did something. You know, like when you change an area like that, it's like, oh, look what I did. I made this area a better place. Then it goes back to normal when you reverse time, and it's like, so
yeah.
I
That
saved all those people for nothing. You
that
know?
that that does kind of frustrate me, but that's also why I have my arbitrary fierce DD's four corners run where I try to beat all the bosses in the same 3 day span with the fierce DD's mask, just so I can have the satisfaction that I technically saved all of Termina, right?
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. Okay, this part's important. I have to focus. This actually is quite difficult. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dang it!
What's wrong?
I have to hit exactly 10 seconds. I don't have any rupees!
What are you trying to do? I'm confused.
So he wants me to count to 10. He wants me to count to 10, but he wants me to hit it at exactly 10. So
That sounds annoying.
it is annoying, but
What do you get?
I enjoy it because I don't have any rupees. I only enjoy it because it's like a rhythm game. So, and I like rhythm games. Maybe I should play Melody of Memories again.
No.
It's your favorite.
Nope.
You've played it, yeah. You've played it before.
God. I played it because of that dumb song. Because I couldn't justify buying a game and not playing it.
Dang it! Ah. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dang it! Ah!
What do you get for doing that?
Yeah! I did it! You get a heart piece.
Why did I tell you to do these things? I didn't know they were so dumb.
What do you mean? This was fun. But look. Oh. Look,
I
look, look.
wouldn't want to deal with that.
If you look over here, all of them are done. All of them are done. I will now get the secret ending. And I will leave it at that because I don't want to get 40 more heart pieces. Sheesh. Oh. Alright. So this is finally it. I'm finally about to go and beat Majora. And it'll be epic.
Bless you.
Thank you. Feels good. Oh! You know, when I first played this game, I didn't know about the inverted Song of Time. And so I had to beat everything in the shortened time period.
Did
That
you
was
do
fun.
it?
I didn't know about the inverted Song of Time, which slows down time.
No, but did you do it though?
I did. I did it actually. I got to the third temple, I think.
So you didn't do it.
Well, no, I didn't beat the game, but
You should be ashamed of yourself then. I'll be right back.
all right. Don't wait. Don't be too long.
I am back.
You're back. I am waiting.
Yep. For what?
Oh, the door to open.
What are you eating?
M&M's.
Who said you could eat wrappers? Get it? Wrappers? Get it?
I'm just excited for Christmas.
You didn't get my bad joke?
Did you get my bad joke on top of your bad joke?
You're supposed to get my bad joke first.
Well, I got it second, so.
But But no, seriously, did you get my joke?
I did. I did. I got your joke. I don't have any arrows. Oh, I'm supposed to do the Oath to Order song. Patience is a key, but not when you're really tired. Because patience only helps you to fall asleep faster. Oh, yeah. Uh,
P2 is the best boy. He's the best boy that ever lived. Oh, P2, the best boy. There you go.
there we go. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. I don't have any arrows. That's a little bit of a problem. Hey, have you seen Fierce Deity used before? I'm just curious.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Bailey got all the mask.
Oh, Bailey got all the masks too?
Yep.
Oh. Sis. Tail. Wait. What? Wait, what? How does it go again? Down, right, up. Oh, yeah, I did that. Right, down, A, down, right, up. Oh, come on. Or even this one moment right here. This is kind of a beautiful scene, honestly. It it stopped. We did it. It stopped. No. It was too much for this cool kid to handle. So, this is probably the most dramatic moment between two flying blobs staring at each other. Look at the frame rate drops. No, I'm joking.
It's frame rate dropping on you.
No, I'm slightly messing around. They doing this like flicker effect to make it more dreamlike, but it's I'm just kind of messing around. More. Okay. More. Let's skip over the mom mask just because that one's actually kind of useful. More. Sheesh. Picky, why aren't you? Hide and seek. Lens of truth. That is absolutely nothing that I need. Why do I need rupees at the end of the game? Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me lock onto you. Oh, I always forget that one. That was stupid. That was stupid. Oh, hey. I haven't given you up yet.
Never gonna give you up. We're gonna.
It seems the one cursed by the strange, sparkling gold spiders had the mask. Well, yes. Oh, it's you again.
It tells you where to get the Mask of Truth, which is funny because you need the Mask of Truth to read those. Isn't that kind of funny?
Yeah. Well, is it for a puzzle or something?
It's just something that one of the stone things say when you talk to it.
Fire.
And it's like if we can understand what you're saying, do you really think we don't have the mask already?
Oh. Okay, blow me up. Blow me up. Yeah, I got arrows. Well, I think this is for a quiz. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this strat again. There we go. I did it. I'm so good. So good.
Are you really
Yeah.
sure about that?
Wait, how do I get up there? Oh. There's probably something up here. It's probably in there. Okay. Oh. Okay, no? Wait, how do I get up there? What the? Am I missing something? I could blow those up. Is there... Is that... Is that why? What the freak? Come on. Oh, there it is.
Wait, Bailey hates the bomb juice, by the way.
What's going on here? I'm so confused. How did I did what I did. I did everything right. What am I missing?
You didn't do everything right if you're missing something.
Oh, that's what I'm missing.
You're supposed to blow up that crack with the bomb too.
Yeah.
I could have told you that. Bailey had to do that, and that frustrated her because he couldn't get the bomb tube to hit it properly.
Yeah, you do have to time it. So, and
I
that.
wouldn't know the timing, so I couldn't help her.
Yeah. Oh crap.
Not to mention, she only wants help when she asks for it, or if you ask her, she agrees to it. Basically, that's why I had to tell what's his name when he came here. Cap is not Bailey. Give him all the tips. Anyways, I'll be right back.
All right. There it is. I got it. Oh, I gotta try to time it again, eh? First try.
Okay, I'm back.
I opened up that hole up top in my first try.
Good job. Show off.
How many masks do I give him? The face under the mask? Is that your true face? Oh, come on. What? What? That's not supposed to. Okay. What? What are you? Okay. This is not going like I wanted it to. Because I'm supposed to bounce off of there to go there. Why aren't you bouncing? This is stupid. This is stupid.
Oh, Bailey hated this part, by the way.
I'm hating this part. Oh, freak. It's all good. It's all good.
Did I tell you Bailey liked the Ocarina of Time much more than Majora's Mask?
Really?
He gave Majora Mask a 6. He gave Ocarina of Time like an 8.
Well, that's interesting. Did she explain why?
She found a lot of the stuff in Majora's Mask annoying, like the fish boss, the time mechanics. She also didn't like me. Um, she did not. She did not like a lot of the side quests that she ended up doing. So yeah.
That's interesting. No! I don't know. I liked all the side. I like the side one. Did she 100% it?
No.
Okay.
She got all the masks, but she did 100% every little thing.
Yeah.
She's doing what you're doing, basically. She's not doing everything, just the mask.
She just wanted 100% everything.
Yeah, she didn't want to do all the side quests and stuff. And not to mention, she thought about doing the side quest, and then the frog quest basically made her go no.
Is Bailey a VTuber or?
No. She shows her actual face.
Okay, I was just curious. I might have to. I might check out her content just to see what she's about.
You should. She's great. Very chill.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. She streams after you end, though. She streams at about 9 Central,
Yeah.
so 5 hours.
Oh snap. I could just skip this part and just not get the heart piece. Oh my gosh.
getting annoyed in her chat because she will put in her tags no backseating, no spoilers, and people will ignore the tags and still come in and do that anyways.
Oh,
She even put it in her chat rules that you have to click OK on to even chat. No backseating unless she asks, no spoilers, etc. Right?
yeah.
People still do it.
People just can't help themselves, I guess.
Yeah, so sometimes I get frustrated. It's like, can't people just respect her wishes? I get that people don't pay attention, but not paying attention in life is not a good trait to have.
What's funny is that I have the opposite problem. I'm like, hey guys, I don't mind backseating. You can tell me what I need to know. I already kind of do, and no one tells me anything. And I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, Figgy's like that. She literally says you can backseat.
Yeah.
She don't mind. She don't care.
Oh, nice. Sheesh. Why? I can't bounce. If you won't bounce me.
Ounce you what, dude?
Okay, two. I missed it. Oh my gosh. That's probably the most annoying thing is when I hit it and it doesn't bounce me. Because in my head, that's a game design issue and not so much
What is?
when I hit the thing and that happens, or if I hit it and I don't bounce and I just stop. Oh freak! Like that. Why?
Go to the game had issues.
Yeah.
But no, since this is everybody's favorite game, they just have to blindly defend it. I'm not saying you are, but a lot of people are like that. Like, I have my favorite games, but I'm not going to blindly say Aria of Sorrow, for example, has zero problems.
Yeah. There's no such
You know what I
thing
mean?
as a perfect game, but. However, I am still of the opinion that I think that Ocarina of Time is potentially the greatest game of all time. So,
It's better than Majora's Mask.
I don't know. My rating isn't necessarily based on like. Come on! It's like I accidentally turned too sharp into it. Freaking stupid. I'm look. I should just be able to go straight, and it just does it, but it won't let me do that. What the freak? So I have to be very precise in how I turn. It's kind of annoying.
Wow, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What an original name, dude.
What, did some guy just call himself Super Smash Bros. Ultimate or something?
Yes.
Wow. I wonder if he's a pro or something.
I doubt it. He's probably a casual, if I had to guess.
Dang it.
And he died. What a pro. Why did he have to be on my team? Level 203 and still worse than me at level 32 when I've been playing the game for 3 days. Come on, dude. Before you say Arclight, you're being too harsh. He's the one that named himself Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So he better be like...
The ultimate?
Yeah, exactly. Probably just a
Why?
kid. I shouldn't be so harsh. It's probably just a kid.
He's
You
just
know?
a kid. His life is a nightmare. He's just a kid. 'Cause he knows that's not fair. Come on. I haven't even gotten past the first part yet. Kind of annoyed.
Always on time took the L. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I revived you. You better be some use to me. And I risked my life to revive you. You better do something and help me. Nope. He's not gonna do anything. Well, I can lead the lobby.
It's just kind of awful.
What is?
Just trying to hit this. Oh my gosh, did I actually get it? No.
If it makes you feel better, Lucy says hi.
Hi, Lucy.
I think you would like her. She's sweet. Well, once she gets used to the person. She used to be overprotective of me to the point where she would growl and bark at anyone that wasn't me. She
Oh,
never bit or attacked anyone, but she like growl and bark.
yeah.
She was especially like that when we first got her. I guess because we kept her in my room so long that that's all she knew was me.
Yeah.
And apparently I was very nervous when around other people at the time because she could sense my nervousness as well, and obviously that made it a lot worse
Yeah.
because dogs can sense your emotions.
Yeah. They can
Cats
like.
can too, but cats just don't care.
Cats will care if they really care, I guess.
Like I could be really mad and Shadow's just like staring at me like bruh, and then turns back around.
My sister had a cat. Her name was Coco. She was like an old grandma, Karen. She was a really old cat and she hated people. She almost hated my sister's kids. Like, she learned to tolerate them. But, like, when they were first born, she almost attacked them a couple times.
To be fair, cats usually don't like kids.
No. But usually it's like there's a weird indifference, not like an actual, like. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Well, let's, I guess, when in Rome. That didn't work. That was the best I ever did.
Walk, 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 walk.
Wah, wah, wah.
We're on village team.
What? 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 What?
Oh, you like that?
What? I do.
You like that theme?
It's a good theme. Boom, boom, boom.
I think it's weird. I don't know, it
Bum,
just
bum,
sounds
bum,
so
bum.
weird.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Bum, 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 ba-bum. Oh, what? 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 I could just end it. I could just go in the blue triangle thingy. Oh, I thought I wasn't going to hit it, so I was like, I gave up too soon.
I swear so many people in this game can't aim.
This is so invigorating. I love hitting this one chest 10 million times. What? 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 Boom, 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 boom. Oh, freak. I think one thing that makes it really difficult is the camera. Like, the camera angle doesn't follow you as quickly as it should. And so, it's like,
Huh?
Hmm.
Man, sometimes I wonder why I revive these people. I just revived someone who died because he jumped off a cliff.
Oh my gosh. For those games, I guess. I don't know. Alright, I give up. I'm going in the crystal thing.
You give up on what? I'm confused.
Oh.
Half eaten pizza eliminated Fluffy Muffin.
Oh.
I'm not even good, and I do well in this game. Almost no one in this game can aim. It's hilarious. It's almost every time I've died, it's because I did something stupid or I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Oh wait, did I make a mistake? I made a mistake. No! That's upsetting. Oh.
Hold still so I can revive you, god dang it. Oh, you're so cute, Lucy. He's just curled up into like a ball, like laying down on my bed, and it's just so adorable. I will be right back. I am back.
Nice.
Have you ever had Vienna sausages before?
I have.
The ones that come out like those tin cans?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just had some lunch meat ham, and that's what that tasted like to me.
Hmm. Well, was that a good thing or bad thing?
Probably a bad thing. There's specific lunch meat ham that I really like that tastes really good, and then there's this lunch meat ham that I don't care for that much.
Yeah. Uh, I like Vienna sausages, but only sort of sometimes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Got 4 more masks to give away.
I want to get back in shape, but I don't know how I can find the motivation to.
Finding motivation is really hard. I don't have a good answer for that.
It's just tough because it's getting to the point where I can't hardly walk that well anymore.
Yeah.
A large part of that is because of my disabilities, but
Yeah.
staying in shape kept my disability in check, if that made sense.
Yeah.
And now that it's not in check, it's really taken over. I can barely walk now.
Yeah. How bad is it? Like, if you don't mind me asking. Like, has it
What do you
gotten
mean?
worse? Has it gotten worse over the last couple of years, or?
It's ever since I stopped working out entirely, because I lost motivation to, it's been getting worse and worse.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that working out is probably the most important factor in health.
Yeah. I used to go to the gym, but the membership was too expensive.
Yeah.
You have to drive. Uh, I don't like the sweat. I don't like being drenched in sweat, and that's what happens. You know?
Yeah. See,
Because
I actually love the feeling of being drenched in sweat.
I don't. It makes me feel, eh.
Yeah. Alright.
But it's mainly because my clothes get drenched in sweat. That's what bothers me. I don't care that my body is sweating that much.
Yeah.
It's just my clothes
Yeah. I
that bother
I
me.
uh, I just kind of learned to get over that.
Okay, Mr. Football.
Yeah, it was football. Well, in South
I mean,
Carolina in the humidity, like you're playing in 100, 115-degree weather, like you're just sweating just existing. So, like, then not only that, like I used to work out a ton, like, so, like again, when I say my workouts were intense, like when I used to work out 3 hours a day on my own. Like, yeah. I honestly think part of the reason I got so big was because I worked out too much, and my body got so accustomed to working out so much that when I even dropped it, it was just like, yeah, you're not gonna we don't want like you doing this. So
Yeah, I used to be a basketball player in junior high,
yeah,
and my condition got worse and worse because that's when I kind of started to stop working out
yeah,
as much. Was because in high school I tried out,
yeah,
I got rejected, I got heartbroken. I basically gave at the time I basically gave up on life for like a week.
yeah,
I didn't want to be around anymore. I didn't want to live anymore because that was everything I had. You know, that's all I had,
yeah,
and it hurt. I've only been that depressed one at a time, and that's what the few times me and my ex-girlfriend broke up.
yeah,
Those are the only two times I actually ever bawled, like like really hard.
yeah.
So
Well, well, Arclight, I want to push you a little bit because you need to work out. At least go on a walk.
I can't go on a walk.
Why?
The neighborhood is dangerous.
You can't do
No,
it during.
seriously, we've been having problems with violent dogs.
Oh, you don't have a treadmill or an exercise band or something?
No,
Okay.
I have like a basketball hoop outside, but I can't work out outside unless it's cold because
Yeah.
I have another condition that makes me get hot really easily.
Yeah.
So I can't. And when I get hot, I itch like really bad.
Yeah.
And if I scratch too much, obviously I get like a rash. And
Yeah.
and a rash is bad, so I can't do that. So I don't go outside very often. I'm not trying to make excuses, by the way. I'm just trying to tell you, everything.
Yeah, it just makes it more difficult.
Because I really want to work out, as I told you.
Yeah. You need
I
to.
don't need to be like an athlete fit again like I was.
Yeah.
I just want to be fit enough where I can walk it up and down stairs and walk fairly normally. Because my condition makes it where I skip when I run if I'm not in shape.
Yeah.
So I skip around, which is not good. And I walk really funny when I'm out of shape. So
Well, you know.
I look like the penguin, from Batman.
Well, you know that's something you could try doing. It'll be kind of weird. Just walk up and down the stairs like 10 or 20 times. So, if you're not able to go,
I physically cannot get on stairs, so I can't do that. But I want to find something that I can do,
yeah, yeah. You could try a rubber band workout. That's basically very very lightweight. You can modify it the way that you want. It's really cheap to get. You can do sit down workouts. Basically, a common one is that you put your feet on the floor while sitting down, and you can just raise it up like that. But it sounds to me that you need a. It's more like your legs you need to do something more than your arms. So.
Another thing that I've noticed ever since I stopped working out is my hands. Because I used to work out my hands muscles and stuff, with weights.
Yeah.
So I could work out, and well, I used to be able to. And what happened was, I used to be able to play fighting games better than I can now, for example,
Yeah.
because I could easily, how do I say this? I could do the inputs much easier, basically. Now my hands and fingers are not as good as they used to be.
Yeah.
They're not as bad as my legs, obviously, because they still play video games all the time. But I have noticed I have more trouble pulling off combos than I did in the past. Which again, a lot of it's my disability, because a normal person wouldn't be having that much of an issue
Yeah.
with just not doing that, just from not doing that. But my visibility makes it where I do have issues, these issues.
Right. Well, I mean that's also a common thing with aging. Like I'm in my 30s now, and my fingers, they tense up more than they used to. They're not as nimble. So
Yeah.
if I play like even Smash Bros, which is more forgiving, if I play a lot, like I have to rest just because my fingers. Also,
Oh,
my wrists are kind of killing me. So
I don't have those problems. My problem is my fingers are just slower
yeah,
and have more trouble moving around.
yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Uh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I had a doctor tell me a long time ago. You can still do everything you wanted to do. You want to do. You just have to work twice as hard as everybody else.
Yeah,
That's what a doctor basically told me. You can do it. It's just gonna be twice as hard for you. And it's like, but I don't want it to be twice as hard for me. But you're born with these conditions. You can't do anything about it.
it's just life, you know. You have to kind of learn to deal with it.
I have problems from a variety of things. Like I have some problems because I had to be born by C-section instead of
Oh,
normally.
oh yeah,
So that I have problems from that. I have problems from a bunch of things that went wrong when I was born, basically.
yeah.
Sucks, but I gotta live with it.
You gotta live with it. Yeah. But I might actually see if I can like send you a band or send you money for an exercise band because that sounds like what you need.
Hey, what? I'm sorry.
It's an exercise band.
What's that?
Instead of like a dumbbell, what it is just basically a giant rubber band attached with to handles. Um, and it allows you to do a lot of the same type of, I guess, dumbbell workouts, but a lot lighter weight and also a lot more freely. So
I used to like doing dumbbell workouts. I
yeah,
still have some,
yeah,
but I don't use them because motivation.
yeah,
Lack of motivation, a big part. And even then, that's not gonna help my legs, which is my biggest problem in my opinion
yeah.
right now. You
Well,
know?
that's the thing is that the bands you can use with you can find workouts that will work with your legs. So, um, yeah, they're not just limited to just using your arms. You can be a little creative with them. So, I used to work again. I used to work out a ton, so I know quite a bit more than the average Joe.
Gotcha.
And honestly, motivation is hard. The only reason I was able to start getting motivated is I paid a personal trainer, and literally there were months that I was just draining my bank account and not even going. But my thought was is that I had like if I hit a point, and I know that my health is important, and I hit a point where I was just like I can't do it on my own anymore. So even while working 60, 70 hours a week, I was like I gotta just do it. And so that's what I did. I just did it.
I just wish I had a way I could work out inside, something that's light and easy for me, but something that will help, still help me. I don't want to overdo it, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
right now, there's a lot of stuff I can't do, just flat out can't do right now
Yeah.
because it's not physically possible.
Yeah. The thing is though is that it's kind of a catch-22 because what's going to happen is that if you don't work out, the issues are only going to get worse. Um, to the point where it's going to be even harder. So, and
Yeah, I just
that
don't know what I could do in my current condition.
do I have a band? I don't think I have a band. If I can get an exercise band, I can show some stuff on stream. Just I'll probably do that. Band like you gotta realize exercise bands you can get they're actually pretty cheap. So like if you want cheap ones that won't be sturdy, you can probably get like between 10 and 20 bucks. And obviously if you want like really high quality ones that won't break, it I would say probably maybe 50 to 100 bucks. So
Gotcha.
and again, like I feel like I'm being a little pushy, but it's not because it's because I guess I just want I want you to try to be better, you know.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. You're not being pushy.
Okay.
You're fine. You're definitely not being pushy.
Okay.
You're fine.
All right. I don't know. Sometimes I don't over. I feel like I overextended there a little bit, but
Yeah, just had to stop you there because you're definitely not being pushy, in my opinion.
that's good. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. I might actually try to look up and try to find an exercise band. I'll try to find one for you too. Maybe I'll send it to you, or give you the money for it, and then you can just do a couple. You can just and the most the saying that is pretty important is that the most important workout is the one that you do. So anything is better than nothing. So like one workout that's really common for like older folks are chair sit-ups or chair squats. Basically, you grab a chair and all you do is that you just sit down and you stand up. And you do that like 10 or 20 times. So or you could do body weight stuff. Like it'll be annoying, but you could do just body weight curls, just curled air basically, just like that. And you just do that until you start feeling tired. And do that with your legs, you know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm there's probably more that you could do. Like or even just doing like a water bottle. Because the water bottle is like a very lightweight. You can just grab two of them and use those as dumbbells instead. Um, oh my gosh. This is becoming my least favorite part. I have not gotten past I haven't even hit halfway yet, and that's really annoying.
Oh no.
What? See, last time for me when I did this, the Zora part was the most annoying. But now, for whatever reason, it's this part, and I don't know
And you haven't
why.
even got to the Zora part yet.
Say what?
Have you even got to the Zora part yet?
I did. I skipped ahead and did the Zora part. And what's interesting is that in the Zora part, the hardest part is actually the finding the heart piece. And I found the heart piece like second try. And then it took me like a few more tries, but I found the main person like right after that basically. So,
Oh, nice. Congrats.
yeah, it's for whatever reason this part is just absolutely destroying me. I can't get past the second turn. Oh, I thought I wasn't going to make it. It's just annoying. It's just not very forgiving. It's annoying when I hit the boxes and I stop my momentum for whatever reason. And then that, or I somehow happen to exactly hit in between the boxes and it sends me backwards for whatever reason. And I'm like, why are you that way that you are? When can I see you again? Oh, oh, oh. And the camera makes it so that I can't just hold straight. I have to turn. Because if I hold straight, this happens. The camera doesn't go with me quick enough, so I have to turn. But I have to turn in a very specific direction, or I do it too much.
Yikes.
So it's just annoying.
Yeah. I don't know. From what I've seen and I watched, and you could, believe it or not, you could get a lot from just watching someone
Yeah.
play. There is a lot of stuff in Majora's Mask that would just annoy me. Flat annoy me. I can tell by watching it. Compared to Ocarina of Time, where I'm like, okay, a lot less of this would frustrate me.
Yeah.
Because besides the water temple, I can't think of anything in Ocarina of Time that would annoy me. But Majora's Mask, I can think of like 15 things.
Uh, I honestly think the most frustrating thing in Majora's Mask is George, the third
Who?
boss.
Oh, the fish, yeah.
Yeah. The one that I was telling you about, and you were then kind of making fun of me for it. George, I hate you.
Because you keep calling him George instead of Gorg.
Georg.
Georg, yep. You keep calling him George. George.
Oh. Oh. I want the final mask. The mask of the fierce DD.
Mask of the Fierce DDD. If you want that, just play some Smash Bros. Oh wait, Mask DDD's not in Smash Bros. As a playable character. I get there's a Final Smash. You just use DDD's Final Smash. There you go. Then you get your Mask DDD.
It's DDD's finals. Oh.
I hate it when I'm a moron, by the way.
That,
I was chasing after someone. We were on a building, right? So I was like chasing him. And I tried to jump to the lower level. Instead, I jumped off the cliff and died. because
Wow.
I missed because I mistimed slash space by jump. So I died.
Oh.
Because he just made the same jump. He just did his better than I did mine. But yeah, Fortnite is not hard at all. And a lot of the people can't aim, so you don't have to worry about your bad aim if that's what you're worried about. Because I have bad aim and I still do fine. Dirt. It would be. I want to. If I requested Fortnite with a choose my stream, I wonder what Chris's reaction would be.
I know, right?
That he used to meme about it, you know, about him redeeming it for you to play it.
Yeah.
You know, he used to meme about it. Yeah. So I wonder if you actually did Fortnite. I wonder what he would say.
I mean, I would
I think it'd
play
be
it.
funny. I know you would play it. But I'm more curious of what Crimson's reaction would be, because I think it'd be funny.
By the way, I didn't think I'd be stuck on this part for so long.
Hold on, I gotta check Dark Wolf's stream. I gotta see if he's playing Fortnite. I. It's probably not him, but I gotta check anyways. Cat?
Yeah?
Okay.
What's up?
Nothing. Nope. He's not playing Fortnite. Okay, it's not him. I figured. There's someone in my game named Dark79 Wolf.
No.
And I'm like, wait, what? I figured it wasn't him, but I had to check anyways. Because Warpwolf is streaming right now. So
Yeah.
I was like, let me go see if he's actually on Fortnite. And to be fair, Darkwolf doesn't put the number at the end of his name, at the middle of his name, and he also is 7786, not 79. But hey, I just wanted to check because I thought it was kind of funny. Okay, I'm back on your stream now, so I can now see everything that's happening.
Oh. Trust me, this is not the most exciting stream right now. So, I've died, or I've fallen off like 20 times, beyond, probably 30 times. It's just, I'm literally repeating myself.
But Cap, you're supposed to be the master of this game.
I've never failed before, but there's a first time for everything.
Cap fail? What is this nonsense?
uh... Uh, I'm falling asleep so hard. Ah!
order some food. It'll make you feel better.
No, it's too late. It's 4:20.
It's never too late.
It's not too late. It's never too late.
You know that song?
I do.
Wow, I didn't know you. I didn't know you knew 3 Days Grace.
I know a lot of bands. I like a lot of music.
I love 3 Days Grace. So when I was younger, that was my jam. 3 Days Grace every day. It was before I was into the Nightcore.
I think the closest I've ever had to a favorite band is The Offspring. They have just some songs that I just love so much that it
Sounds familiar.
Show me how to lie. You're getting better over time. Now dance, dance. You never had a chance, and no one even knew it was really only you. And you away.
Yeah, I know that song.
Out today. Nice work you did. You're gonna go far, kid. With 1,000 miles and a good disguise. Hit 'em right between the eyes. Hit 'em right between the eyes. When you walk away, this is what I say. See the lightning in your eyes. See them running for their lives.
Yeah, I've heard that on the radio like many times.
Yeah.
I know that song.
Another good one they have is chances round, hard to see.
I'm also surprised you. I'm also not surprised you skipped the part where it cursed. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So what's sad is I've actually tried to find an edited version of that song, and yeah, I couldn't find it, and it sucks because that's like one of the it's a rare song where it doesn't change the song by taking it out. So, but it's like the only song I found that can't be like that I haven't found unedited. So, I play it and I just deal with it. Oh my gosh.
You didn't. Because I know cursing's not your thing. That's why I try not to curse around you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
It slips sometimes, but I also chat in the Fig's chat a lot, and hers is family friendly, so you can't curse.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of getting used to not cursing. And Bailey also asked you not to curse.
Oh.
If you can help it. She says a little bit it's fine, but she doesn't like it when people go overboard with it.
Yeah.
Because she wants hers to be like a 17 plus, basically.
Yeah.
Or like a 16 plus. Or something like that. I forget exactly what she said.
Yeah. I'm not really going for like an age group, I guess. Like I guess I want mine to be for all ages. But doing one for all ages is hard. So that's probably why a lot of people don't stick around my streams that often. Come on. Oh my gosh.
So, why are you so against cursing? Is it your upbringing?
Yeah, it is my upbringing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for the big part. Now, again, remember, I'm not like against it. I've definitely grown used to it, but I personally try to avoid it now. Also, if I were to go into the deep skinny of it, like Obviously, I'm not perfect at it because I just use milder forms of cursing if I do get frustrated. Like, instead of saying F, I'll be like, freaking, freak, you know? It's just kind of a. Um, but,
It's just kind of how I've always viewed cursing. It's part of the English language. I'm just gonna deal with it. I don't
yeah.
care. It's a word. It's just another word to me. You know, it doesn't. You know,
I would say
it
that, except for different words have different connotations, right? And
yeah,
there is
but like
truth. There is no, there is truth to that because there's a saying that I have that things are only as powerful as much power as you give them. So
yeah.
yeah,
Another reason that I'm not against it is because they used to mean something completely different, and they used to not be a curse word, and then they became one. Like the B word, for example, used to just mean female dog, and that was it.
true. Yeah, or even gay. You know, the concept of the word gay used to
Used to
actually
mean
mean,
happy.
yeah, just to be like, oh wow, I'm really jovial right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that like a lot of these words had used to have different meanings, so that's another reason they don't. It doesn't really bother me.
Yeah. One of my favorite jokes I like to do is at Flintstones. Right, it was like an old '60s cartoon. Um, the very last line of the theme song says, "We'll have a gay old time." Oh, freak! It's a good joke. Oh my gosh. One day out there, beneath the clear blue skies.
I don't know why I was just humming Starry Night, but I was.
Starry Night.
Starry Night. Yeah, you ever heard that song?
Uh, maybe there's a lot of songs with starry with
St-
that.
Starry Night.
Uh,
I
not
can't remember
enough
the whole
of
song.
not enough of a hint for me, unfortunately.
Starry Night. Oh, Starry Night. Something like that.
Oh wait. Um. Oh, I'm thinking Silent Night, not Starry Night. Oh,
Maybe. Maybe
so
that's what I'm thinking. I'm.
Silent Night, Holy Night,
By the
all
way,
is calm, all is bright. Merry Christmas, everyone.
ho ho ho.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.
Can't say that in Australia. That's a bad phrase.
Ho, ho, ho?
Yes.
What do they say instead? Ha, 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 ha.
I'm not from Australia. I just know they have a law saying Santa can't say ho 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 because it's called a woman to hoe, basically. That's basically what it is.
I don't
It's
know.
silly, I know, but that is their law.
That is very silly. But you know what? Australia lost a war to emus, so I'm not surprised.
They lost the war to emus?
Yeah, it's the Great Emu War. This happened back in like the 40s, 50s, 60s. I don't exactly remember when. But what happened was emus were eating a lot of the farmers' crops, but the farmers weren't allowed to automatically shoot them down. So the government was like, you know what? We'll take charge of it. And so the government started mowing emus down. But what's funny is that the emus adapted. and they actually started like sending out watch watchmen emus to look for the government when they came. Um, and obviously, like the government wasn't trying super hard, but what happened is that eventually the emus would run away, and so it became more of a nuisance and costly because the government was like, we don't want to spend so much on firepower like bullets and ammunition for this, so they stopped. And because it was technically the government technically used the military to try to stop the emus, it was technically they technically lost.
Aw, I thought it was cooler than that.
It's still hilarious. Yeah, you thought it was just like a bunch of emus coming over and just like full on the Avatar, not like Avatar the Last Airbender, but like the movie Avatar, just like or Ewoks, the Ewoks against the Imperial Army. That's a better example. Oh my gosh. I've been doing this
Man,
I've been doing this for over a half hour.
is it bad that I like the Star Wars video games more than the movies? Is that a bad thing?
No, that's not a bad thing. They had some really banging games.
Like
I
Star
think,
Wars: The Force Unleashed. Oh my god, that was one of my favorite games ever.
yeah, I heard that was a pretty good one.
I played the
My
Wii one, which is considered the inferior one, so
yeah.
I haven't actually played the other ones, but I wanted to play them now.
Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. The DS one was the inferior one. There was the one on the DS for some reason.
I think one of the best ones I played, and this was back on N64, Star Wars Rogue Squadron. It
Oh,
was a.
what about Pod Racer? Did you like that one?
I never actually played that one.
Episode 1 Pod Racer.
That one seems like it would have been cool though. The first one I played was Star Wars Battle for the Empire. That was a pretty good one.
The Force Unleashed is still my favorite. I want to go back and play Fallen Order. Because I played it and I was like, it's too hard. But now that I've played Elden Ring, I feel like I can do it. You know?
Yeah.
You could say Elden Ring made me stronger.
I've heard that they're remaking Knights of the Old Republic, but we'll see what happens.
There's a free-to-play Star Wars game. I forgot what it's called. That might be Knights of the Old Republic. Is Knights of the Old Republic the free-to-play one? I don't remember.
Knights of the Old Republic was actually it came out on 360. Oh, why?
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So it's old.
Okay, there's one on PC that you can still get that is a free-to-play game. Forgot what it's called. I'm trying to remember what it's called. You know what? You know what we're gonna do here? We're gonna cheat. Because it should be in my library still.
This is the most exhilarating.
Yeah, it's Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yeah, I was right.
Oh, just the Old Republic, though.
You can play it still, the PC version, anyways. Apparently, they still make updates for it.
Oh, snap.
Like they introduced cartel coins in 2020.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of stuff coming out in 2020, and they still do events and stuff for the game. I haven't had a chance to play it, but Star Wars is just so cool to me. The games, especially, just wielding that lightsaber and those force powers is so nice.
Yeah.
I also played Battlefront, not the garbage one EA did.
Battlefront 3?
No. I'm talking about the PSP game. the original Battlefront on PSP. That was great.
Usually people cite Star Wars Battlefront 2. Like, that one apparently still has a pretty decent following. It's kind of like Melee and how it survives.
It's because EA backpedaled and fixed everything. That was. It was the funniest thing about it. You know who got involved?
Who?
It was the big reason why EA was like, okay, fine, we'll dial back some. Disney got involved because they got such bad PR.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when Disney
Disney
gets
was like,
involved.
no, you fix this, and or you don't get the license again. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay, we'll fix it.
And then they made Jedi Fallen Order, which was more story centric, and it did really well.
You know what's the funniest thing about Fallen Order was EA before it came out, EA just said single player games are dead. No one
Yeah.
wants single player games anymore. They don't sell. Right before Fallen Order released, and then Fallen Order got millions of copies sold, and EA proved themselves wrong.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I think the problem isn't that first player games don't sell. It's just that DLC games do so well compared. So that even
Not
if
what
they.
EA said.
Yeah.
Granted, EA's always said dumb stuff, so
Yeah.
I was never surprised by what they say. But
Yeah,
it was funny. It was still funny.
They were voted the worst company on the internet 2 years in a row.
And you know what the funniest thing about that is they're competing with like companies people absolutely hate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're competing with the scum of every other industry and still winning. That's how bad
Yeah.
it is. Oh, Naruto skin, nice. And a going Super Saiyan emote. Okay, cool.
No, I said I was really
Okay.
tired. This section is not helping me.
Okay. I guess Arclight's gonna have to help you some.
Am I doing something wrong?
Here you go. Check the chat.
Oh.
Did it work?
Yeah, a little bit. Mm.
Can you reduce the points on that, by the way?
No,
Because it's. I'm just
no.
curious.
Part of the reason I
I want
have
to
it.
spam it so I can make you slap yourself 15 times. I'm kidding. I wouldn't
Yeah,
do that.
that's why.
To
I
be fair,
thought-
I could still do that right now.
you could, but 500 is in a nice little area where it's a little, it's not too expensive, but just expensive enough to where people don't want to spam it. So
Do I have to prove that wrong?
I don't want you to, but I like not slapping myself. I have it on there though because I am always tired, and it's for the content, right? So it provides two services.
Maybe I should add a command on my screen that's punch Arclight in the face for 500.
Wow, don't do that.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But hey, it'd be kind of funny.
Oh my
I
gosh.
do want a bonk command where um so a little thing image will pop up in stream and bonk you on the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
Chris has one of those, and
Little bunny foo foo walking through the forest, picking up the field mice and bopping them on the heads.
that's funny. There's a backpack item in Fortnite that you can get from the battle pass.
Yeah.
Guess what it is?
What?
A tin of sardines with a repulsive smell coming out of them, out of the box.
Oh my.
Is that kind of funny?
Kind of.
And it's called sardines with a Z. Like I didn't. Sardines didn't connect me until I read the name, and I'm like, oh, I see it now.
Duh!
P2 walking through the forest.
Opponent will be better. Yeah.
I'm getting close to Linux Rose. I can taste it.
Waifu powers activate.
What?
I said waifu powers.
Yeah, but why?
Because Lennox Rose is a waifu.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I I should. You should take. If you beat the game today, by the way, you should take tomorrow off.
I probably won't beat the game today, unfortunately. This section is taking much longer than I thought it was going.
Bailey took 6 hours on this section. Don't feel bad.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
One of these days, Cap, I'll have you play this game. One of these days.
What,
But
Fortnite?
not for a while. Yeah. And the best part is you can play it on your PlayStation because it's a free-to-play game. Like Multiversus is.
I could. I could.
can also play it on Switch if you wanted to. I'm just saying, maybe you prefer to play it on your PS4, but I wouldn't know.
Probably
I
PS4. Load times are worse on Switch. I still regret playing Hat in Time on Switch rather than on the PS4.
Here's my problem with Switch: the controller. And I want to know my button and as well. So if I use the PS4 controller, it shows the Switch button. So I don't know what buttons I'm pressing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so I, our, the Castlevania Advance Collection is not that bad because I can map the controls to what my emulator settings usually would be. You know,
Yeah.
but but then I still have to be confused and go for the menus and everything, like the Switch menu itself and everything.
Yeah.
So I still have to do that. So
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
still
realize that was there. I messed myself up.
oh, come here, you wolf. You attacked me. Now you're gonna get it.
Oh.
Check that.
That one worked pretty good actually.
Arclight's gonna help you stay awake so you can beat this game today.
Uh, Look, I have somewhere I have to be at 11 this morning, so I actually am going to have to end stream, whether I beat it or not. I'm just sad that I wasn't able to beat it. Stupid. Yay! I'm getting a little better at controlling it.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, it'd be nice if I could get past this part more frequently. That is the worst when it hits me backwards. Ah, why?
Now you see why Bailey hated this part.
Yeah. I was more worried about the Zora part. I think I mentioned that. Oh. What sucks is that this part could have been such a cool part if they just added railings to it.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
him back. Cap.
Yeah,
Okay, you're awake.
I almost fell asleep.
Laying back like laying back like that's just gonna make you fall asleep.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time that I go, honestly.
Go.
Yeah. It's 5.
But you're so close.
I am so close.
I know. So you still beat it on Halloween. You could stream later today.
We'll see. We'll see how I feel. So this is my plan. My plan for today is I have a therapy appointment at 11 that's going to last an hour. And then I have to get supplies so I can cook dinner. And then
What's
around
for
3,
dinner?
I'm making something called dinner in a pumpkin.
What's
Uh,
that?
it's basically just like a rice. What the freak? It's like a rice thing that you cook inside that you bake inside of a pumpkin. And then I'm also gonna make meatloaf, but
Man,
try
I'm one of
to.
those weird people that likes meatloaf.
I do like meatloaf. It's really good.
Yeah, but everybody hates on meatloaf. Like, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of kids shows where they're like, ugh, meatloaf.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only downside to meatloaf is that it's dry, but it's honestly a pretty cheap meal.
It's tasty too.
Yeah. Add ketchup to it.
I don't. Doesn't it already have ketchup on it though?
Yeah, but you can add more.
Gotcha.
All right. Oh. All right. I
Make sure you save.
I am. All right. Anyway,
So,
thank you for tuning
before you
in.
go,
Yeah.
can you finish what you were telling me? You were talking. We talk. You were saying you gotta go to a therapy appointment. What else do you have to do?
Or I have a therapy appointment, and then I gotta go to the store to pick up supplies so I can cook dinner. And then I'm planning on cooking it, starting it around 3 o'clock because I have to actually cook.
Dinner stream.
Take out the seeds, and then while we're eating dinner, my brother and I are gonna carve our own pumpkins, and then and watch movies and stuff at the same time. And then after that, I'm assuming maybe 10 or 11. I might be able to start streaming then, but I have a pretty stacked day tomorrow, so
Sounds like a fun day, though.
It does. I'm excited. I might, and here's the thing: I might take a nap in between going to the store and starting to cook dinner. But that depends on when I get done. So when I get done from
Gotcha.
shopping. So, all right. Anywho, thanks for tuning in. Um, and then I guess I'll see you later. I think you're the only one here, so I won't worry about turning on the music. But all right, Arclight. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right, Cap. You take care.
You take
Have a
care
good
too.
night. Bye.
Bye.